Today's video, we're going to talk about how to raise unlimited funding for your real estate deals in 5 simple steps. So my name is Dustin Hahn, and our YouTube channel shows you how to fix and flip, wholesale, tax liens and deeds, and buy properties for 40 to 90% below market value. So one of the biggest problems that pretty much all investors face, especially new investors, is getting the funding for your deals so you can actually go out and buy property, and maybe you want to have a rental or maybe you want to do a fix and flip. Now, remember, if you're wholesaling the deal, you don't actually have to fund the property. You just need to find a good deal. So the first thing I want to debunk is I've noticed this trend of talking to people, and I guess you would call it maybe the mythical unicorn buyer, where the right buyer is just going to buy anything. And I see this quite a bit where a lot of people will say, oh, I just need to build my buyer's list, or I just need the right buyer. And here's the thing. There's not going to be a magical buyer that's going to buy a bad deal. Any smart buyer is going to know a good deal when he sees it, okay? So you hear about people who have thousands of buyers on their buyer's list, and that's great, but for us, we really only deal with like 5 to 10 who know what they're doing. When you're needing unlimited funds, or I call it unlimited funds because when you know how to do this, you can get access to lots of money. When you're getting access, it's probably going to be something for a rental property or for a fix and flip. So let's start off with the most important thing you need to be on top of if you want to raise money for your deals. And the first thing is to know your market and know it well, okay? So step 1 is to know the market, study the market. Where are the good areas? Where are the bad areas? Know where, development's going on. Totally lost my train of thought, but that's okay. We're gonna keep these videos raw and on point. Know the good areas, know the bad areas, so that you're educated. And then from there, you need to be sharp with your comparables on what's going on in the area. So step number 2 is be sharp on the comparables. Now, you can use a website like Zillow, or we use propstream.com, which is it's a paid service, but it gives you really accurate comparables. And also a real estate agent can get you decent comparables as well, because you need to figure out really what the property's worth based on what things are selling for. So websites like Zillow and Realtor.com, they're using an algorithm based on sales, but in order for you to really crunch that data, you're probably going to have to figure out the average square foot of property within the area and then apply that to the type of property that you're looking at. So from there, you're going to need to know how to estimate repairs. Now, this is a bit of a tough one, especially if you've never done a deal before, or maybe you're not that familiar with it. So you need to figure out how to estimate repairs. And one of the easiest formulas that we use across the board is basically a light rehab is going to be about $15 a square foot. So that could be things like painting, maybe a little bit of carpet, just cosmetic stuff. And then from there, like a medium rehab is going to be about $35 a square foot. So this means maybe there's some trouble with the roof, maybe some flooring, HVAC, things like that, more serious, about $35. And if it's a full gut job, then about $50 per square foot. So these are all things that you need to learn about and educate yourself on, so when you go and you want to raise money. So one of the things that you're going to need to do is put together a package, okay? And this is what we do on all of our properties as well, is we always have a package put together on the property that has the details on the property, how much things are selling for, comparables, estimated cost of repair, information on the market, and then also profit margins on what we expect to make on that property. So you're going to have a nice packet put together, and from there, one of the best ways to start is start locally with your friends and family. This is really how I got started as well, is I studied the business before I got started, okay? Now, what I don't want you to do is spend forever waiting for this magical time where you're going to have all of the answers, which is what a lot of real estate investors get the paralysis by analysis. And by the way, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button, as we always forget to say that. We'll put more of these videos out. So the paralysis by analysis kicks in where you just go on this endless stream of YouTube and think there's going to be this day where you have all of the answers. Now, I would say you should have probably 60 to 70% of the answers so that you can be sharp on this. So for example, we do wholesale, fix and flip, tax liens and deeds. And when I was first getting started, I got started with wholesaling and tax deed investing. And one of the things I did is I educated myself before I went and started raising money for my deals. And here's why, because you get basically one chance to sit down with an investor, in my opinion. And if you're not sharp and on the ball, they're going to think that you're not serious. And why would they trust you with their money? So what you need to do is really understand the process. So for example, when I got started with tax lien and deed investing, I made sure I spent a couple months studying. And that way, when I showed everybody what I was doing, I was able to be snappy answering all of their skeptical questions of like, if this business is so good, why isn't everybody doing it? What happens if I buy a tax deed property and there's a mortgage on it? What happens if you buy a tax lien and the homeowner doesn't pay you back? So I needed to be sharp on these questions so that I could deliver that answer with confidence. And then that's what inspired them to build trust, to invest with me. Now, the other nice thing about raising money for a real estate deal is if you're dealing with somebody smart. So you're going to have basically two types of people to fund your deals. You'll have maybe friends and family who just know you're a good person and will trust you and say, all right, you have a history of doing good in life. Sounds like you've done your research. Here's $100,000. Go and give me, 10% on my money or some sort of profit share. That probably be kind of loosey-goosey, but it happens with friends and family. Now, the second type of person is going to be more savvy. So like if you're working with somebody like me, we're going to want that packet on the property that I just mentioned. So the comparables, the rehab costs, the information on the county and on the neighborhood, all that sort of stuff. We're going to want pictures of the property. We're going to want a video walkthrough of the property, things like that, because the other nice thing is that real estate doesn't lie. And what I mean by that is if you have a property that you want to buy and it's under contract and you have all of the appropriate documentation, then it's really hard to fool somebody or lie to a professional investor because we're going to be able to check title. We're going to know what that thing sold for. We're going to know who the owner is. And if it's something that we're serious about lending on, we're going to get our own inspection done. We're going to work with probably a title company that we want. And it's just really hard to fool. So that's why you need to be on top of this and educated. So summarizing this stuff, if you want to have unlimited funding for real estate deals, one, you need to be able to find good deals. Two, you need to be sharp. You need to be educated, understand what's going on, understand the good parts of the property and the bad parts of the property, be able to have a good conversation. And what I don't want you to do is try to be somebody you're not. Like the whole fake it till you make it thing, don't do that because people will see through it. If it's the first deal you've ever done, be transparent. Say, look, I'm a new investor. Looking to raise some funds for this property. I'm offering, a 10% return or a portion of the profits, but it's my first one. I've studied. The numbers look good. You take a look at it too and see if it looks good to yourself. So those are some of the key things to keep in mind. And really, when I say unlimited funding, I'm serious about that because the only way you're not going to get funding on something is if it's a bad deal. And if it's a bad deal, it means you're just not at the point yet where you've studied enough to effectively find good deals. So if you're wanting to find some of the best deals in your market, and find deals for 40 to 90% below market value. We actually put together a free training that shows you how to find these properties today. I literally walk you through it and demonstrate getting these deals live in front of your eyes. So there's a link below this video. If you click that now, you can check out that free training. And if you've liked this video, hit the subscribe button. Thumbs up would be great. Ask us any questions you have in the comments, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time.